Hey, friends, welcome back to the Life of a Makeup Artist podcast. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for this topic because this is a lesson that I have learned recently and still learning. Okay. Now, if you are a new listener, I have a series that I like to do called The Power of. Now, The Power of is an ongoing theme in all of our seasons because this is the life of a makeup artist, and I want to share some of the lessons that I have been learning along the way, right? So, today we're talking about the power of popping your ish. Yes, popping your ish. Now, this one is a bit of a love note to all of us who sometimes have hesitation to take up space or wait for permission to shine, or who just sometimes doubt yourself, right? Now, I want you to know, and I want to give you some encouragement today to pop your ish. Now, I was watching this TikTok, and I actually think I saw it on Instagram too, and the TikTok hit me so hard. Let me tell you what it said. It said that your inability to celebrate yourself is playing part in your erasure. Let me tell you something. That hit me so hard because let me tell you, I'll be so real. I have definitely done that before. I have definitely played a part in my own erasure, and I didn't show up as I should have. So let's get into it. So, just being transparent, I know, the perception might be that I have it all together at all times. Um, and I always, show up as my confident self, which I do most of the time. Most of the time. But there are moments where I have held back because I wanted to wait for the right time, or I thought someone had to open a door, or you just kind of hesitating. You might know that you're capable of it, but you're kind of hesitating because I don't know why. Now, I get it. Sometimes we're looking for signs to feel like we're ready. We want people to co-sign us because deep down we kind of sometimes want that validation. But I really just want you to remember that you don't need to wait on anything or anyone. So I want you to take some actionable steps, and I'll share with you more of how I have kind of, not, and my thing is, okay, hold on. Let me just be clear, right? Be humble. Be humble. I want you to pop your ish, but I want you to also be humble. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, like walk around and act like, but I want you to stand in that confidence that you know that you can do what you need to do. Like sometimes you might be in a room where, even if you're not a makeup artist or, in a creative field, like you might be amongst your peers, you might be in the meeting room and you might have an idea, or you might want to share thoughts and you kind of like hesitate, or you don't know if it's a good idea, or you don't know how people react. Like, no, if you know that you know what you're talking about, you should definitely stand in that. So I want to give you some actionable steps on how I have been combating this and really starting to pop my ish. Okay, let's get into it. So first of all, I want you to give yourself permission. Now, you do not need validation from anyone to go after what you want. For example, I started this podcast in 2019. It was just a little page, posting memes at first, doing little cute things. And I didn't really like ask anybody. I didn't really ask anybody. I was just like, I want to start a podcast. Like, I think it'd be a cool idea, And this is what it had developed into. Like, maybe in 2019, when there wasn't a lot of podcasts, somebody be like, yeah, why? Like, you don't know what other people would have, thought about it, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what other people think. It's about what you want. So I don't want you to waste your time thinking that you need to have somebody tell you, yes, this is it. Like, yes, this is what you need to do. Now, granted, there are moments, obviously, like, I share with friends. I say, hey, this is what I want to do. Like, we have our kind of like creative, like, like brainstorming and things like that. If you have your safe space to do that, sure. But there was a point in time, and I'll tell you this was a long time ago. But when I wanted to leave my job, right? I was working at Mac full time. I was still in the airport, but I was still very hesitant on when I wanted to leave. So I was asking a bunch of people for their advice. These are people that I looked up to. They were already full time freelancing. And let me tell you something. Every single person, I asked three or four people. every single one of those people, no shade to them because they were so kind to give me their advice and their time, which I was so appreciative of. One person said, don't leave in the winter, fall, winter, because it slows down. Somebody said, don't leave in the summer because it slows down. Actually, don't leave right now at all because work is just not very consistent. And that was just the theme of all of the advice that I asked for. And that kind of started to give me a little bit of fear. Like I was just like, oh Lord, when I gonna leave? I ain't gonna go nowhere. I ain't gonna go nowhere. Like I am not going to go anywhere. If I were to just like, oh well, this person said this person this, no, okay. You plan accordingly. So I was like, you know what? Let me come up with a game plan. My game plan as a planner and as a Capricorn. I'm gonna write down what I need to do. I want to write down the trivial things I need to buy, which is what I did. I wrote down the trivial things that I need to buy. That I want a leather jacket, I want a boot, because I know when it's full time Jaleesa, I wasn't going to be buying anything unnecessary because I have bills to pay, especially because I'm new to freelancing. I'm not shopping, okay? So I had to come up with my own game plan, and that is what gave me the most confidence because I was like, okay, my bills are taken care of. Like at least I know I could pay my rent. At least I know I could pay my phone bill. Like, at least I know I have those things, obviously. Like those are the advice that they gave me was very valid. Like, of course, things slow down in the winter time, of course. But at the end of the day, I wanted to leave. So there was at some point, regardless of what the time was, I had to leave at some point. I ended up leaving in August, which was a good time. I didn't really plan to leave in August. I planned on leaving the following like April. But fashion week was going on. I was getting booked for a lot of, shoots. I was in my assistant era then, and clearly things were fine. So we'll talk more about, I feel like we definitely have to get into like a money management episode at some point, especially for freelancers. But at the end of the day, I say all of this is because you sometimes want that validation just for security, just to feel like you're on the right path, which is totally fine. But I don't want you to seek validation and that be the the reason you move or not move. Like it's nice, okay, I can take your opinion. That's okay. But I'm still gonna do what I need to do. I'm still gonna get it done. So stand in your power, pop your ish. You know what you need to do, and just get it done. Okay. So let's get into number two. So here's what gives me a lot of confidence: showing up imperfectly. And I want you to start keeping your promises to yourself. And I think a lot of us struggle with this. Sometimes we feel like we need to be perfect in order to start something. And I'll be honest, I still feel like that sometimes, right? I need to write light. I need to write this. I need to write that. But honestly, the world doesn't need your perfect, right? They want real. And to me, and obviously to anyone, progress over perfection. um I feel like showing up for yourself and keeping your promises to yourself gives you that confidence that you can pop your ish. For example, I always was like, oh, I want to be a yoga girly. I want to be like, I want to go to hot yoga. I want to join the gym. I want to do these things. And every time you show up for yourself, every time you keep a promise to yourself, I promise you, you will get more confident and you will also trust yourself more. Right. And all of that leads into like, oh, I know this is going to get done because I trust myself. I know that I am capable of this and I know that I'm going to do it. So those little things where you're just like, and honestly, I'm obviously not always, but like for instance, you're like, oh gosh, I should go and like wash those two things in the sink. Or I should probably like drink more water today. I should probably go to the gym even though I'm not feeling to go to the gym today. Like those little things actually makes the biggest difference. So now, yes, your girl is a yoga girly. I when I travel, I work out now. Like, who is she? Okay. And it took me a while to get there, but it honestly like has made such a difference. And it also has helped me like trust myself more. It's actually helped me to take care of myself better. And I love that for me, and I want to love that for you too. Hey, friends, if you've been loving this episode, don't forget to take a minute and rate the podcast. This helps the podcast to grow and also to reach new listeners. Thank you for all of the love. Let's get back into the episode. Okay, so you've given yourself permission, you have showed up for yourself. Now I want you to celebrate yourself. Now, let's be honest, some of us, we downplay our wins sometimes. And I'll tell you what I did. So in the beginning of the year, I think mentioned did I mention my Ulta partnership earlier this year? I think I did. And then I also went to Trinidad. I went to see my campaign in the Mac store, and it was the Mac store that I started at, right? So I went to Trinidad to see it. It was in a few of the malls and stuff. And I was actually on TV. Like I was literally on TV in Trinidad and I did not post it because I was in my head. Now I just be honest, I still haven't posted it. And I know I talk about this. I have all these things on my phone, but I've been doing better with that. But like this one in particular, I did not post because I was like, oh my gosh, it's too much. I just posted this, I just posted that. And I was just like, girl, a win is a win. Okay. A win is a win. And sometimes like, oh no, it's just like, I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know. But I sometimes we're just so quick to move on to the next thing, especially because the world of social media. It's like, so what's next? What are you up to? Whether it's a small accomplishment, a small victory, I need you to celebrate yourself. Okay. If you said, hey, I'm gonna, I don't know, drink five, whatever, 5 big bottles of water this week and you did it, celebrate that because I don't know, sometimes you can feel afraid to share things, but every step forward is worth celebrating. So I am also learning that lesson. And not to say like I know that I'm a confident person, but sometimes I'm like, it's okay. I didn't post. I was on the Today Show with Serena Williams. Um, there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things that I still need to post. So I will post it. I definitely will post it. But yeah, I think sometimes things happen so fast. Um, things just happen so fast that it's just like, but it's okay. It's okay. We learn and we grow. Okay. And if you see my feed looking real celebration, like a real celebration, you know why. Okay. We have things to celebrate and we're grateful for that. Next, I want you to build a relationship with rejection. Now, this one is a tough one. And it's not always a bad thing. If you're putting yourself out there, you're putting yourself out there to possibly get a yes or no, right? If you're not putting yourself out there, if you're not getting rejected, you're probably not putting yourself out there enough. I can't tell you the amount of times I was rejected, I was told no. But sometimes you have to look at that no as a redirection or a way to be like, okay, maybe I need to switch some things up, or maybe I need to recalibrate, maybe I need to improve. Like the more that you put yourself out there, the more that you are told no, I feel like that just makes the yes sweeter. That just makes the celebration of the yes sweeter. And even more reason to celebrate, even more reason to pop your shit, okay? Because you know what it feels like to be told no. You know what it feels like to be rejected. And you're like, you know what? That doesn't define me. That doesn't make me feel like I'm less than whatever you do, or less than a person, or less valuable. You're still that person that knows that they're capable of doing anything that they put their mind to. So build that relationship with rejection because it's not easy being told no and you're like, it's all right. It's okay. It's okay. The yes will come and it might be better than that initial thing that you thought you wanted. And lastly, stop waiting for people to hand you an opportunity. Now, you want to create them yourself. You want to collab, reach out. You want to start a series, start recording. No one is going to be as passionate about your dreams than you are. No one is going to believe in yourself more than you. Now, you might have friends, and I do, and I have friends that I believe in wholeheartedly, and the feeling is mutual, but no one is going to believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. So I want you to take your power back. You have to realize that you don't always need to wait. You don't need to wait at all for someone to see your potential. You don't have to wait for anyone to open a door. You can just build your own damn house, okay? Because yes, connecting with others and obviously there are people that will open doors for you, but you're responsible for your own destiny. So I want you to remember as you think about the 2024 as we go into 2025, that as much as you may not have everything that you want yet, or you might have it, I feel like we all sometimes go through that feeling of imposter syndrome, of feeling like we're not good enough, or feeling like, oh, I have this now, but I still don't have this, but I still don't have that. Like, listen, don't do that to yourself, because your past self will be so proud of who you are today. Remember that this is your world, so show up in the world as you want to. Don't wait, don't hold back, and don't dim your light for anybody. Now, I hope this episode inspired you to step into your power. If you want to talk about it more, my DMs are open at Jaleesa Jaikaran or at the Life of a Makeup Artist. And I want to thank you so much for all of the love and support on the podcast. And if you have any episode requests, if you would like to work with the Life of a Makeup Artist, our email and DMs are open. I'm really excited for all the things to come, and I will catch you guys in the next episode.